One rapper admitted to being into m***ers on camera, and this other rapper went at it with his girlfriend during an interview. Guys, these are the most disturbing interviews with rappers of all time. No Jumper has seen its share of wild moments. The Blueface Krishan Rock interview takes it to another level. The couple's relationship's been making headlines since 22, and they show up to what was supposed to be a regular sit-down with Adam 22. About a half an hour into the podcast, things started going left. Krishan was getting heated about how the conversation was moving, and what happens next turns into one of No Jumper's most infamous moments.
No, you're not.
You wanna do it by yourself?
What do you mean, do it by myself?
I'm gonna do it.
Are you looking at me?
No. Wait, this is what I'm saying.
No, because you're being weird.
Instead of trying to cool things down, Blueface makes it worse by calling for security to remove Krishan from the studio.
No, take her outside. Take her outside. Take her outside. For you. I don't speak for you.
Right.
That's what you said the whole interview. I don't speak for you. So now you're cut like, bro, close the blinds. Bro, close the blinds. Take her outside if you got to.
Why are you dismissing me, bro?
The scene quickly turned chaotic. She keeps trying to come back, acting very strangely as security guards try to drag her out.
No! No, kid. I gotta take you. I gotta take you. Come here. Come here like that. He come here. He come here, bro. What are you like? Why you doing that? Why you doing that? Blue, what are you doing that?
The whole thing plays out in front of everyone, turning what was supposed to be a promotional interview into a disturbing display of a toxic relationship.
Yeah? Or you need to wet your camera? Huh? Don't worry about what? I will wet your camera.
Blue, what are you doing, my nigga? Come here.
I'm walking out with you. I'm coming with you.
But if getting dragged out of a studio by security's wild, wait until you see how this next rapper's interview turned into his final words. It's 2017, and the Say Cheese G Money interview becomes more than just another sit-down when he starts talking about his falling out with former friend NBA Youngboy. The beef started cooking when G Money linked up with Youngboy's ops, while YB was locked up.
Years prior.
Yeah, that little nigga like my little partner. He used to be like my little brother. He stayed with me and everything. Everything was still all good until he started, you know what I'm saying, like doing his own thing, getting him a little buzz, getting a little money. He just got the big head and just started like in it, like the feelings he been feeling probably deep down inside that he was scared to put out. He let that out once he got a name and got from down here.
It takes a wild turn with G Money dropping some heavy accusations that would change everything between them.
He mad about his sister too though.
About his sister?
Yeah, I had a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
He wasn't really tripping on it back then, though, you know what I'm saying? He be calling me big brother and shit. I guess he just let that fame get to his head. Now he feel like he just this new nigga, whoever he supposed to be, whoever he called himself.
Not content with just the interview, G Money dropped Industry, taking straight shots at Youngboy.
Baton Rouge, my city. Nigga in his feelings. Steady talking down. Why a nigga sneak dissing? If you a man, come at me direct and watch a nigga be missing. I ain't with the tongue twisting. I don't want a rap beef with ya. Thing is, you in the industry and I'm still in the streets with it.
Then he crossed a line, talking about Youngboy's sister.
Your sister swallowed, so I never kissed her. But I f with her, so I never dissed her.
Youngboy fires back on Poor One, breaking down how their brotherhood fell apart.
Remember smoking weed with your little brother? Matter of fact, I used to call you my big brother. Then you did some foul shit and had sex with my sister. Then threw it in my face in front of the people on Insta.
That interview ended up being way more than just content. It was the point of no return. G Money caught a fatal shooting outside the studio at 1 a.m. not long after, proving once again how Baton Rouge rap beef is way more than just music. Speaking of interviews now that aged like milk, this next situation shows why some family business should stay off camera. T.I.'s 2019 appearance on the Ladies Like Us podcast stands as one of hip-hop's most notorious interview moments. The Atlanta rapper, building a reputation as the king of the South, ends up shocking everyone when he starts sharing some questionable parenting decisions.
We have yearly trips to the gynecologist to check her height.
Oh, you okay? I'm done with you right now.
Things got even more uncomfortable when T.I. goes into detail about these medical visits with his daughter, sharing information that was way too much for the internet to handle.
Don't ride no horses, she don't ride no bikes, she don't play no sports, man. Just check the hymen, please, and give me back my results.
Oh, dude.
Expeditiously.
Expeditiously.
But I will say, as of her 18th birthday, her hymen is still intact.
The backlash hit hard and fast. Medical professionals call out the practice, social media goes into a frenzy, and the hip-hop community is stunned. The situation gets more real when his daughter, Deja, makes her feelings clear, unfollowing her father and co-signing posts that criticized his behavior. The fallout hit T.I.'s career immediately. VH1 pulls the plug on T.I. and Tiny Friends and Family Hustle, and talk shows started dropping his appearances left and right. Even his damage control attempt on Jada Pinkett Smith's Red Table Talk couldn't fully fix what was broken. But if crossing boundaries with family was bad, you gotta see what this next artist did with damage control that turned into one of the wildest meltdowns ever caught on camera. R. Kelly's downfall can be traced through two infamous interviews that expose the dark reality behind his public image. Now, the first bombshell drops during his sit-down with Tour, where they directly confront him about a topic that would later define his legacy.
Wondering about you. Do you like teenage girls?
When you say teenage, how are we talking?
Girls who are teenagers.
19?
19 and younger.
I have some 19-year-old friends.
Yeah, years later, following the explosive Lifetime docuseries, Surviving R. Kelly, and facing 10 counts of aggravated criminal sexual abuse, the aftermath hit different. This wasn't just bad press, it was career-ending. Streaming platforms started pulling his music, radio stations went quiet on his tracks, and even RCA Records cut ties completely. The hashtag Mute R. Kelly movement picked up serious steam, and the industry that had shielded him for years finally stepped back. His attempt to play victim backfired hard, making him look worse in the public eye and ultimately contributing to his downfall. And speaking of career side on camera, this next rapper thought flexing about scamming fans would boost his image, but ended up exposing way more than he'd planned. Cashier Quan from Detroit, coming up hot alongside TJX6 in 2019, will show how fast a regular interview can go left when he starts dropping some wild confessions about his past moves.
200 times, no over-exaggeration, 200 times. Like, for 2 years straight, he lost his job, his wife divorced him. Like, bro, this real, bro. Like, this really real.
Oh, it really hit different when one of the victims had become suicidal from all the harassment.
Trying to slice his arm, bro, because I'm taking all his cash, bro. I'm telling him I work for the IRS. You done sent me $20,000 already. The IRS is investigating this.
Instead of falling back, Quan went even harder during a Say Cheese interview, spilling more dirt about his activities.
I used to do that too, but I stopped. I don't do that no more. I stopped doing that 3 years ago.
When pressed about how he was running games on fans before he even got hot, Quan broke down his whole playbook without thinking twice.
Scam your fans.
He just posting Cash App, like all the bullshit you see with people posting these Cash Apps. I got a Cash App login with 5,000 on it. Give me $100, like that, and then you get 30 people to send you $100. You know what I'm saying? And you just made 3,000 off.
His attempt to play it off like old news wasn't fooling anybody.
But it's like the scamming your followers is lame now, dog. Like, I got people. I just dropped a song and I said in the song, any fan that I ever scammed, DM me right now and tell me how much I scammed you for, and I'ma send you your money back, nigga. I don't like scamming fans, bro. That's it. Like, it's played out for real.
Yeah. Things got even messier when he started flexing about stacking over 100,000 from his schemes.
How much do you think you made scamming your fans?
I ain't gonna lie, probably like, no over-exaggeration, bro. Probably like 100,000.
The energy switches up when he addresses how he did his day one supporters dirty.
But I regret it. I regret it, though. I regret it.
Right. Because do you feel like it kind of hurt your career a little bit, like your core fan base?
Yeah, it definitely do.
The streets weren't having it, especially after that story about scamming a doctor to the breaking point went public. Trying to cool it down, he hit social media with,
I just told what I did in the past. Everybody mad over some that was a decade ago.
Quan had to keep it real about how these interviews messed up his music run. Now he says he's done with that scam rap wave, pushing a cleaner sound on his tracks like the 80s. And this shows you how quick confessions can just change the game for an artist. Now, if bragging about scams was foul, wait until you hear how this next legend took dissing former homies to a whole different level. Ice Cube showed how wild things could get after leaving NWA back in '89. After bouncing from money issues with Jerry Heller and Eazy-E's Ruthless Records, things got heated quick. NWA was throwing shots on tracks like 100 Miles and Runnin' and Real Niggas. But Cube took things to a different level. One interview straight up shocked everyone when he started clowning DOC right after the dude survived a crash that messed up his voice for life.
Cube won't pump it up. I got all suckers 100 miles and running. Like to give a shout out to the DOC. Y'all can't play.
It's the D, always in the middle of controversy right here on Pump It Up.
But the real heat came when he dropped No Vaseline, hitting his old crew with some of the coldest bars ever.
Cause you niggas can't be the nigga for life crew with a white Jew telling you what to do. Now you must be a snitch. Throw a house in a ditch. Half pint your homeboys, you little maggot. Eazy-E turned fat.
That track hit so hard, NWA didn't even try to clap back. And they ended up splitting over the same money problems that made Cube bounce in the first place. Now, speaking of cold-blooded moves, this next interview shows exactly why some people don't even wait for the body to get cold before throwing shade. Death Row's main boss, Suge Knight, wasn't a rapper, but he was definitely the muscle behind a label, running things with an iron fist both in the industry and on the streets. He shows his true colors during one of hip-hop's most cold-blooded TV moments, when he goes on air and straight disrespects Eazy-E's memory right after he passed away from AIDS.
Fresh out of jail, I'll come check you out, right?
Right.
Why the bulletproof vest?
Oh, it's not. Oh, no, that's just, it's the new style. You've been in the can for a while. That's what all the talk show hosts are wearing.
This is a new thing, right?
Yeah.
See, if somebody gonna do something about it, see, technology is so high, right?
Right.
So if you shoot somebody, you go to jail forever. So the kids, you don't want to go to jail forever, right? So they got this new thing out there. People sell them all the time. They got this stuff they get blood from somebody with AIDS. Yeah. And then they shoot you with it.
Oh, so that seems bad.
That's a slow death.
Yeah.
Easy thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, no. Okay.
That interview became infamous not for the wild timing, but because some people just caught what they thought were hidden messages about Eazy's death in Knight's words. It's a classic Suge, keeping that same energy whether the cameras were rolling or not. But if disrespecting the dead on TV's cold, wait until you see what was said on national TV. When NWA started falling apart, things got real messy real quick. Cube had bounced over money issues, and what could have been handled with paperwork turned into one of hip-hop's nastiest breakups. So MC Ren takes it to this other level during a heated TV appearance, showing just how bad blood was running between the former crew.
How have things changed since Ice Cube left?
Better. Yeah, it got better. Real. It's way better. You know, because ain't no ego trips in the group.
Never make peace with each other?
No peace.
But Ren wasn't done. In that same interview, he switched his anger to the host herself, dropping some serious threats that had everyone shook.
That's what she get. I hope she get it again. She got beat down. The host of that show did something and she know what she did and got beat down, and I hope it happened again. See you around, buddy boy.
What was that, Ren?
Huh?
What did she do that would...
What did she do?
What did she do that created the situation that made it that bad?
Try to make us look stupid. Tried to play us. Is that national TV? Tried to play us. On national TV. Tried to play us in front of millions of people.
Yella and Eazy-E looked very uncomfortable with his words, but with a member already gone, what can you do? But if threatening a TV host is wild, you gotta see how this next rapper's final interview turned into his own eulogy. It's early 23 and BTB Savage was linking up with this local rapper who'd been hitting him up for a feature. When they finally met up, the rapper shows up with his homie, Omar Richardson. And it turns out to be a setup. They try to strip Savage of his ice, but things went left fast. And during this scuffle, Savage's girl gets involved and starts shooting up the place. Richardson ended up losing his life, and Savage caught a minor elbow injury.
We go inside the crib, and then they just talking and shit, like looking around. That's why I figured it was kind of weird they looking around when they first walk in my crib, like going like that and shit.
So after beating the case in self-defense, Savage hit up Vlad TV for what nobody knew would be his last interview. Now, the sit-down went viral because Savage was just too comfortable talking about this shooting, showing zero remorse, and basically flexing about the whole situation.
I'm looking at it, I'm like, shoot him, shoot him. So like, well, I edge, I swing my hip under him like that to put him on top of me, all the way on top of me. And then she's popping him in the back twice. She's like,
pushing his luck even further, Savage posted up at a spot where Richardson got killed, snapping pics for social media, even by street standards. That was mad disrespectful.
Are going to try to come back? Or is it one of those situations where everyone just kind of accepts that, hey.
But I'm going to get active. That's all it is. And it is what it is. It's on the floor. It'll be smoke forever. To be honest.
Right. So you've now moved out of that apartment, right?
Just 2 hours after flexing the gram, Savage was cruising in his Benz when some shooters pull up and let it rain, ending his life. People couldn't help but connect the dots between those disrespectful posts and what went down.
Identified as 40-year-old Montrell Burley, he's charged with killing a rapper sitting in a white Mercedes.
The way everything played out, especially in that last interview, really shows how things can just turn in the rap game when disrespect enters the chat. Speaking of deadly consequences, this next artist learned the hard way why you don't disrespect someone's memorial for clout. Chi-Town rapper FBG Cash was moving wild back in 2020 when he pulled up to King Von's mural. This wasn't just any spot. Taking pics there knowing the beef between O-Block and FBG was hot, that was just asking for smoke. Cash goes on No Jumper to chop it with Adam 22, breaking down how he supposedly linked with Lil Durk before pulling that stunt at the mural. The whole interview was tense, with Cash running his mouth, but that wouldn't be for long.
What kind of conversation were you having before he told you to go take this photo?
Me, fuck him, go over there and do that and see what happened to you. I'm outside right now.
You hit him up?
Yeah.
Now Durk and Von were tight like family, so this disrespect wasn't gonna slide. Durk drops computer murderers with some straight up heat aimed at Cash.
Sneaking pics by Von mural like Lil Bro won't come out and spin.
And that wasn't just a threat. Just 3 months after Durk dropped the track, he dropped. Cash got caught lacking. The streets caught up, and just like that, he's gone. And that just poured more gas on the fire between FBG and O-Block.
Well-known Chicago area rapper was killed in a drive-by shooting early this morning in the Auburn Gresham neighborhood. 31-year-old Tristan Hamilton was shot multiple times.
That No Jumper interview hits different now, showing us how quick things can go left when rap beef meets street politics. But if disrespecting memorials was asking for trouble, you gotta hear about this next rapper who took grave digging from a metaphor to reality. Philly rapper YBC Dull took beef to a different level when he hits up his rival's grave and goes digging. Most rappers might have backed down after catching heat for that move, but Dull, he went and threw that footage right in his How to Step music video.
Hey, yo, where the Connie at, yo? Connie, where the
When Dull pops on No Jumper in May, he wasn't playing it cool. Instead, he goes off about this street beef, straight flexing about how his squad had ops shook.
TCK, LMG, 56th Street, Belmont, y'all never got back. No, 44CB taming y'all.
Just a day before everything went left, Dull linked with Brandon Buckingham for what nobody thought would be his last sit-down. He kept that same energy, stunting about how his crew was running things in the streets, not even thinking about how all this talk could come back around.
Like with that shit I be talking about in my reps, bro, that shit real. Go listen to it. Everybody getting shot. Mom, dad, sisters, brothers. We proving a point. It is no talking. It's on site every time.
It's funny. I just jammed a nigga on this block the other day.
We really killed a lot of though. Like, it's not here no more, bro. The hood, dry, bro.
The whole interview gets real uncomfortable. This guy's talking about how nobody in his hood could even step outside without checking in.
Door right here.
It just was open.
Will Smith on these joints right here.
Wait, Will Smith owns them?
Yeah, he from West Philadelphia. Will Smith went to Overbrook High School.
All that stuff about having the hood on lock hits different on August 23rd, 2024. Dull got caught slipping at a red light in Philly. Car pulls up, lets off 5 shots, and even though his homie tried to get him to the hospital quick, it was too late.
The sound coming from this surveillance video, and it shows the moments someone in a white Hyundai Santa Fe pulled alongside an SUV and opened fire.
Speaking of self-destruction, this next one had a real downward spiral. What started as troubling social media posts in late 2022 turns into one of hip-hop's most dramatic downfalls. Ye, formerly known as Kanye West, kicks things off when he starts posting some seriously problematic anti-Semitic content, saying some wild threats that had social media in shambles.
What? Please, next question. Please don't ask me any retarded questions.
Okay, let me go to the next furore, which has been around you in the last couple of weeks, which is your attacks.
Is that British for theory? Is that British for theory? What's theory, bro? Is that British for theory?
You actually have quite a good British accent. That's quite good. Let me ask you, if I can, about the allegations that you have made anti-Semitic comments. And in particular, when you said on Instagram, I'm a bit sleepy tonight, but when I wake up, I'm going DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. Now, many people who are Jewish found that deeply offensive.
But the real breaking point? His appearance on InfoWars with Alex Jones, rolling up in this all-black mask covering his entire face. Ye basically torpedoed whatever was left of his empire in a single interview.
I see good things about it also. Every human being has something of value that they brought to the table, especially Hitler. How about that one? They want to separate and confuse the Christians and make us afraid to stand next to each other. A Christian can stand next to anyone. We can go visit R. Kelly in prison. We can go talk to Harvey Weinstein.
That's what Jesus did.
Yes, because Jesus can save everyone.
The fallout was brutal and immediate. Adidas cut ties with him, dropping Ye's net worth from $2 billion to around $400 million, just like that. The rest of his business partners weren't far behind. Gap, Balenciaga, Foot Locker all jumped ship. Streaming platforms pull his music, his agency, CAA, shows him the door, and his private school, Donda Academy, had to shut down. Oh, the social consequences. Twitter and Instagram kept suspending him for violating their hate speech policies. But perhaps the most telling part? His ride or die fans, the same ones who'd been defending him since College Dropout, through every controversy, couldn't even back him up on this one. But if losing billions is rough, check out how this next podcaster learned why you don't fake beef with real ones. The Trapland podcast with Young Vadu and Coco Show is a perfect example of how keeping it fake can turn real quick. Behind the scenes, Coco had supposedly offered Vadu a quick $100 to spice things up for the views. And this interview wasn't about to stick to the script.
Because number one, he's a clout chaser. Number one, he's a clout chaser. He's a clout chaser. He posted that video, and that's why he's sitting here right now. Because he wanted my clout. These is weird. And then he's sitting there with the Bible talking about he ain't know who I was. This weirdo. These from out east is weirdos. And now you want to talk about shit. How about you talk about the rats from your hood that you've been itching to expose?
Take you serious as a street? No, outside.
I don't want. I'm a blogger. I
don't take
I'm
you
a
serious.
blogger.
I'm gonna be
you
honest.
can't be both,
bro.
So what are you?
Bro,
are you a blogger or are you in the streets?
Bro, I'm 100% everything.
You can't be both. You can't be both.
You want me?
You can't be both.
Myself?
Things get heated with Coco switching up, coming at Vadu's reputation and trying to expose him as a clout chaser. The energy in the room shifts when Coco starts throwing out death threats, taking it way past any staged beef they might have planned.
Left you alone and left you rock. You know why? Because if me and you go at it, somebody gonna die. On my soul. And your cousin. I know your cousin in jail. It's more to it. It's more to it. That's why I let you rock. So leave it alone. Yes, on my soul. Hey, yo, listen, y'all.
That's when Vadu decided to keep it all the way real and had social media going crazy.
4 years, y'all. I've been talking to everybody who has ever put a hand. Nigga.
The real story came out later when Vadu hops on IG with Relly to break it down. While the whole thing was supposed to be just another viral moment, Coco messes up by bringing Vadu's people into it and making those threats. At that point, it wasn't about acting anymore. Some lines you just don't cross. Speaking of keeping it real, this next one shows why the game needs to protect its youngest stars. The Boxed In podcast caught heat when they sat down with Lil RT, a 9-year-old Atlanta rapper who'd been buzzing off his track 60 Miles. It starts off regular, but quickly goes sideways, showing how the game can sometimes fail its youngest talent. And from the start, host Lil Pistol goes wild, treating this young rapper with no respect at all. Instead of talking music, he starts clowning RT about basic stuff.
See if he can hear you.
Mic check, mic check. You hear me? Alright.
Let's go, let's do it. Lil RT, what it do, man? You good?
Good, but why?
How old are you?
I'm 9.
You 9?
Wait, why you talking like that? Wait, pause.
Okay.
I'm talking like that.
What you mean? I'm just asking you questions.
Hi, RT, you good? How old are you?
When RT kept it professional, Pistol Starter takes it further, making jokes about bedwetting and other childish stuff that had nothing to do with this interview.
When you gonna stop peeing in the bed? Hey, where my belt is, bro?
Yeah, tweet.
I seen you were talking about a girl sucking your. What girl?
We can't be talking about it.
You said it.
I'm not with this word.
But you said that.
Things got real weird when they start talking about RT's interactions with fans. The 9-year-old boy shared a story about a grown woman acting sus around him, and instead of showing concern, the host just laughed it off.
Any grown women ever try to talk to you before? You ain't never had like no 12-year-old come at you?
No. Never.
Never.
I had a grown lady though.
For real? What she was trying to get you?
No, she was a fan.
For real? You took a picture with her?
Rubbing on me.
The whole interview was a bad look, showing how this industry sometimes forgets these young kids still need protection. RT handled himself like a G throughout though, but he shouldn't have had to deal with that kind of energy in the first place.
When you gonna stop peeing in the bed? Hey, where my belt is, bro?
Oh, the interview went viral for all the wrong reasons, making people question how we treat the kids in hip-hop. And if you like these videos, please be sure to subscribe to the channel.